Hello, 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 hello. Let's put some tarot cards out to make it look a little bit prettier. How you doing? Are we all around? Anything you want to know? Donations and questions in the as a super chat, and then I can answer your question, unless there's something that you specifically want to know. So we'll just wait for a few people to rock up. The Rock, Dwayne or Johnson? Dwayne, Dion, Leon. Could be dealing with a Leo for a lot of you. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something. So it should be mainly possibly British people that are on here. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Caught the chat. You did. Stephanie, how you doing? Good morning. How is everybody? Where are you from? What do you do? What's your social security number? Are you hot, fit, come from the UK and available? Good morning. How you doing? Have we got any British people up in the house? What is it? Just gone 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're looking at midday. So for anybody's, if anybody's looking for one, I am just done a Pisces reading, remote viewing, and also they're extended. California. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Is there anything that you would like to know? Texas, all up in the house. Yeah, I'm looking for a clean, no karmic, no schizophrenic, no paranoid, delusional, narc energy of a clean, karmic person from the UK or extremely nearby, possibly at the age of around 42, 43. Missouri. Oh, okay. The misery. Oh, so you want to leave, do you? You might be wanting to leave something there. Virginia. Yeah, I'm in my year 2. And keeping my eyes open. Oh, no, the United States, no. Not getting into no long-term thing. Shopping? Are you shopping? What are you shopping for? Christmas presents? Don't really do Christmas anymore. Not really. Normally buy myself something nice. Can I explain the year thing? Sure. I mean, it really does depend on what you're going through during that year, because everything starts to happen in your year 1. This is all the stuff that we just went over on the Pisces reading. Wow, that was confusing. Third-party marriages and divorcing. So the yearly thing, it really does depend on a lot of things, really. But your year 1 is when you pretty much start over. If you start year 1 from your year 9 completely delusional and lost your mind through the 9 year, where that is the worst, because that's the 9 of wands, 9 of swords, and everything, and blah blah blah. And any friends slightly older? I'm can't really that concerned on age, but I know what I like and what I don't like. But yeah, your year 9 is the worst energy. That's where you're coming to the very end of something, but you could still be looking for clues and answers, validation, proof. Possibly lost my mind during year 9, all ready to clean you up for year 1. If you're still banging on about the past when you reach your year 1, and you haven't stopped doing that when you reach your year 2, you're just going to literally keep going and cycling and looping. So your year one is when you should possibly just sort of briefly come across someone. It won't be a really big, intense connection, but it will be a connection. Okay, but they'll kind of come into your life as a new person. But if they're dealing with someone already and they abandon you in year one, you could start to come up against them again in your year two. That's when you're at Two of Cups. You will start mirroring their energy. If they are still with someone, they could well go off back to their ex and abandon you in year two, because they only cross your path in the year two, like they did in the year one. They just cross your path again in the year two. If you've understood that lesson and you're on your own when you're in your year two, and you're not got no abandonment fears or rejection or God or anything like that, between your 2 and your 3 is roughly when you actually meet someone and you go into union, 3 of Cups. You unite, you go out on dates, you build up a very strong bond, as long as there is no one in the way. You have to realize about trauma bonds. If you're meeting people with a trauma bond, they're dealing with someone already. That's a no-no. That is a complete no-no. Let's see. You're in year 2, Steph, the same as me. So within your year 2 is when you come across someone, but it really does depend on their year as well. Like I said, the person that I come across, she'd been a part of my channel for a very long time, right? And we only kind of got in contact after a long time, was within the year 1, but she was married, but going through a very bad in and out, backwards and forwards. We were on the same year. We were both in year 2, right? So obviously when I met her, the reflection of the lesson in a year 2 was she was going through judgment and justice, which is married, divorce, threatening to leave, coming back, going back, leaving, coming back, splitting up, getting back, which is the judgment energy. Okay. So judgment. Okay. Recalls energy, going back, your past comes back to get you, blah, blah, blah. 2. So I go back to my year 2 to try and fix my marriage and my commitment. So then I go into a third party situation again up to my year 3 and 4. And then 5 is when everything sort of like really gets completely bad, because that's the ending of like marriages, commitments, relationships, 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and so on and so forth. And that is the abandonment loop. You have to reach the point of a 5 to actually learn the lesson of abandonment loop, because that's your healing year number, is your abandonment number. When you reach that 5, if you haven't understood about an abandonment issue, okay, you're with someone, you've been dealing with someone, and you're going around and around like a washing machine. Okay, backwards and forwards, in and out, abandon me, I abandon you, I chase you, you chase me, you get me to go back, I go to get you, blah, 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 blah. By the time you get to 5, that is your healing year that reflects abandonment. If that same person is still getting you to go back when you're at 6 to a relationship of the 6 of Cups to play happy families, you're putting a blind eye to it because you're dealing with someone with abandonment issues. When you get to 5 is when you should really be ending things completely and utterly, and you've understood abandonment. That is when you meet someone that teaches you about love, because they teach you about the year 6, which is the 6 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles. Equality, okay? We match quite well. Now, if you don't match quite well, you've met a karmic energy, right? You've met a karmic energy, and then you both start mirroring each other depending on each other's number of what you've got to heal through, okay? That represents another karmic energy. If one of you has at least got the energy of abandonment, you don't fear to project a blame of making the other person feel like you're going to leave them, because you'll connect really well, right? So year 5s are detrimental because 6 is preparing you for a relationship, another one, okay? If it's the same one and the same cycle, you're in fear of going from 6 to 7, which is chasing, running, Are they coming back? Will they come back? Do they actually come back? Do they run out on me? I fear them leaving me. I fear them rejecting me and abandon me. I think that they're cheating on me. I think that they're going to leave me, blah, 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 blah. 8 is more of a rejoicing kind of energy where it settles down a little bit. And then 9 is, wow, that's when things get really fucking bad. And you start to end the year as you started it. If you're still with the same person doing the same thing, you're in fear of going to 1 again, right? Hello everybody, how are you? Can you tell me something? Reading, a job, being unemployed. I don't do readings for jobs, no. Because you can't use tarot to, like, will I get a job? I mean, you can if you've already applied. Right? If you've already applied for the job, I can read your timeline from now. But if you haven't applied or anything like that, you have to have taken action towards something first. Right? Because you have to have taken action of, like, okay, I've left my partner, will they come back? I'd obviously be advising people not to do that and telling them what they're going through, but more than likely, yeah. Right? Well, if his intention to let you leave, I mean, what, you carcerated? Of course you can leave. You can leave at any point. What do you need validation for of, like, will someone allow me to leave? A person's energy isn't connected to you. It's you that keeps it alive because you're still with the person. And then your traumatic bond is what keeps things alive. Like the thought of it and, oh, they won't let me go. And, you know, if they're not letting you go, that means you're incarcerated in prison, or they won't give you a divorce and you've got to go through all of that. Do these year numbers apply to other types of grief? Yeah. I mean, there's multiple ways of reading a number of what you're going through. It just depends on what you're going through, right? What you are actually going through in your cycle of number. Like at the moment, I'm going through year 2, right? I come up against someone in my year 1 and 2. But because her energy was also of a 2, she went back to a marriage to try and fix the energy of Libra. Wasn't a Libra, but Libra, to try and fix the marriage, and a reflection to reflect on everything that we've already learned, meaning that's when I got the answers of what I got, which was a spiritual gift of you can't learn anything other than abandonment. You can't learn anything other than abandonment from the person that abandoned you. So if you keep going back and they abandon you, you're stuck in a loop of 5. You can't get past that. It won't go past that because it will go past the numerology. But if you haven't learned in your year 5 and you get to a year 6 and you're still going on about it, you're inferior of looping the whole 9 year, right? This is why people, when they get married, they can remain married for a very long time and then they end up completely divorced 20 to 30 years down the line, thinking that they've fucking failed their marriage or their commitment and it went drastically wrong. I've wasted all my time. And all they've got from it is an abandonment issue. So then when they meet someone else, all of that energy has to be redone with a new energy. Because like I said in the last live, right, if you're not okay with abandonment, right, and you physically don't feel abandoned anymore when someone abandons you, if you've gone through that cycle, that has to be undone karmically with someone else because you have to pay it back. Like, because if my advice to you, right, is right, you're supposed to abandon this person and leave, and you do leave them. You abandoned them. So you have energy of karma to pay back to that person, even though you should have done it, right? So it gets carried over on your next one, right? And the next one, this is why you can't really get out of these loops of abandonment, right? Until neither of you actually fear being abandoned. There's no issues left, right? So the app there, because I'm still getting loads of messages, right? That app there, I have loads of messages that say I'm interested in a personal reading, but the app, it gives you the actual business page and ways of contacting me, asking me about personal readings. So, Blind Beauty. So, no, I can't. I'm nearly imprisoned, but you wanted to meet me over in Britain? What? You see, this is the thing, right? You have to know yourself of like, I'm not a safety net, right? I'm not a safety net for people to like, okay, if I can just leave someone and feel safe with someone else, you can't feel the intention of abandonment. You have to completely be alone. You have to feel okay with being left and abandoned. Right? If you're nearly imprisoned, that's the police. I can't do anything about that. That's either money or legal representation and stuff that I can't help with. You have to set everything in motion. Like a spiritual person can't help you out of something that you can't get out of. Hello, Sophie. You're all right. Like if it's, if it's money or it's children or it's I can't leave because I've got kids and he wants access and I can't leave and all that sort of stuff, you're buggered. You're buggered. All right. Like a spiritual person can't help you out of that. If it's like, can I leave on my own will? Then of course, right? Of course you can. Right? On your own terms, of course you can. As long as there are not terms and conditions of children being involved and having to wait for marriages to be divorced and stuff. But again, what's a divorce? It's just a piece of paper. It doesn't stop your life. Why do people need an actual divorce? Because if you're divorced, you shouldn't be planning on getting married again. That's the last thing that should be on your mind. So what does a divorce stop? Still doesn't make you free. Right? So I am taking tarot questions if anyone wants to leave a super chat and they have a specific answer. If you are unsafe, you need to take steps. Safety, yeah. Find help. Of course you do, yeah. I mean, I thought, to like me as a person, I thought that would be like quite obvious to people, but a lot of the time it isn't. Like women's refuge, right? Or, whatever it is a bit more than that. A lot. Well, unfortunately, I don't think a spiritual person is going to be able to do that. You need like legal representation. You need like advice from like what we have in Britain is like citizens advice or women's refuge or, women's traumatic rights and groups of people that have been through it that can advise you what to do. A spiritual person can't. I can't advise you what to do. I just have. That is my advice. Is go down the legal road, right? Spirit's not there to help you when it's to do with that. They're to help your free will, right? You have free will, so women's shelters, women's refuge, women's advice, citizens advice, the police. People don't use the police force in the ways that they should because they're inferior of doing it. My narcissistic ex watches every movement I do and have, and the amount of people that fucking contact me that no, he's connected in so many ways and he has influence over the police force and stuff. Like, so I'm afraid of going to the police because he'll find out, or I can't leave the country because he's internationally some sort of fucking spy or something. And oh my word, man. That's no spiritual help, that isn't. Canada, you're right, from Canada. So I can be here to advise people, but If you want tarot related questions, then it's going to have to be a donation. My ex had his cop brother parking and checking behind my truck. Right? It's weird because not a lot of this sort of stuff really happens in the UK. This is like American-based shit. You guys put yourselves in some very weird, peculiar situations. Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I don't know about others, but like, the police force in Britain are generally really understanding in Britain, and that you're paying their wages to do the job, right? Is to have protection and serve. So they're also a very good advising. They can advise you. Like police are not just going to like, oh, okay, you've committed this. They're going to say, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to go and talk to him or her? So you can say, no, I don't want you to talk to them. I just want advice. And they can advise you. They can put you in contact with people. They're not just going to go and grass you straight up and go and fucking contact the ex because that'll put you in danger. They'll more than likely advise you not to do that, right? But they'll actually advise you on what to do. You just want to, if you're a female, you want a female police officer. Can you speak more about year 7? Well, year 7, right, if you look at it, you're going through a lot of tower moments. You're going through like a lot of probable backwards and forwards. Could have a lot of car issues or thinking about buying a car. You could also be thinking about physical traveling, right? You could be doing a lot of fucking in and out, backwards and forwards, like courier driving or driving children. You could have a lot of like kiss, chase, headbutt, crunch of like, are they coming back? Will they come back? Because it could be metaphysical or it could actually be physical. You could actually go through a lot of fear of being abandoned in a year 5 because it's like in fear of someone coming back or in fear of someone actually leaving, right? And then you go through a tower moment. You can have a lot of spiritual awakenings and stuff that go 7s. A lot of fucking, yeah. A lot of delusional thoughts, like metaphysical connections that are not real and illusions, possible ADHD, like learning about ADHD or mental health, attention deficit, paying attention, a lot of searching energy, a lot of metaphysical desired energy. You could very much be single for a year 7 and not actually be dealing with anyone apart from energy that is like metaphysical. Thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. I'm really good. Thank you, Naomi. I'm looking for a decent British woman. Anything going in northern Miami? Yeah, so like year 7, it's very, very complicated within a year 7. It actually depends if you're dealing with someone because a lot of it can be like metaphysical dealing, right? Waking up, you'll have the tower as well. I just can't find it. But like waking up and going slightly nuts maybe and can't figure things out. A lot of car troubles or a lot of like paying attention to one energy and sort of very complicated. Learning about metaphysical energies, stabilizing your mind, possible like meditation and stuff. But it depends if you're dealing with someone or you're not dealing with anyone. Has anybody else out there got questions? So if you want to answer me like a number, like it's important to know like what you're going through. Are you actually dealing with a person, or are you dealing with thought? Because those people that are dealing with thoughts, there's a lot of work on what you got to do on metaphysically with your mind, with yourself. Because karmically, you know, when you're waking up, you can get a thought that just comes back to a thought, and you end up nowhere because you're thinking about what should I do, where should I go, what should I do, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I can't answer yes or no with the tarot, but if where you're at is, you know, you're not getting on very well where you are and you need to escape someone, then I would say so, yeah. Have a brand new start and move completely. But it's very important that you're not running from a thought, because, you know, a thought of energy will just follow you wherever you go. But a person, you know. But a tarot question, I need names and stuff. Yeah, so you're being lost in a year 7, yeah. You're wondering about the distance and should they come back and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, don't do it to yourself. Why do people try to read cards on themselves? I've got no idea. I can't even do it. Like, you don't. I moved away and came back to look after parents whom both passed last year. Rich. So your name is Richard. Your name is Rich. I need like names of people, man. Like, I can't just have like one name. Do y'all guys know how? Yeah, his name, yeah. But like, what's your name? Because all I've got is Blind Beauty. Kim. Rich and Kimmy. Rich and Kimmy. Yeah, I mean, this is just the thought of moving. Should I go? Yeah. It's up to you. Like, you know, I can't tell you to move. But this is like, I need to know answers. It's just giving you your looped energy of thought. I need to know an answer. Should I move? Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I mean, it's over between you guys, right? But this is just breaking away. This is deciding, you know, whether to physically get on with my life and move, because you're just looping the same thing, staying there, not doing anything, not moving, not going. You're getting the same answer back because it's the same answer. So you've already got your answer. You already know that it's over. You already know that there's no reconciliation. So now it's just up to the karmic energy of yourself of like, well, this is your free will, and what do you want to do? Do you want to stay where you are, or do you physically want to move? you know, because for a start, you said your first question was that you're trapped and that you can't get out. And then your second question on your actual question was, should I move? Like, which one is it? Like, are you actually trapped or are you trapped in your mind? Like, this is one thing that I need to tell you, right? Tarot card readings or a spirit, whatever you believe in, right? They're not here to tell you what to do. They're not like, oh, I need to find out what spirit wants me to do first before I do anything. They don't give a fuck what you want to do. You can do whatever you like. Right? So, well, financially. Okay, so physically, when you look at financially, you're still looking at where someone can't answer you that. Because you're looking at, okay, well, if it's finances, then I need finances. So how do you get finances? You get a job. Okay, I've got a job, but it doesn't pay enough, right? So I need another job on top of that job. And I've got to work day and night and save every single penny there is to actually be able to. Okay, or I need a better job. Okay, I can't tell you if you're going to get a job because this is like just waiting and right, just waiting and waiting to be offered something. You're in school. Right, so yeah, there's no way of getting money, right? There's no way of physically getting money, so you're stuck. These just represent stuck, nothing changing, nothing happening. This represents there's no change until you take an action. Right? So if you're at school and you've got no money, you're there until you finish school and you can get money. Okay? Or you'll give up on school and get a job to move. It depends on what's most important to you. Is most important to you your school or where you are or where you want to move? Right? Because there's no movement, there's no change, you're just getting the same answer because there's no action. These are all no action cards. These are, I want to know what actions to take or what to do. I get Rasta money, I don't know what that is. Either Mysis, and then I qualified to move. Yeah, so it's all just a matter of time. Like it's just a matter of time of like, okay, I just need to wait until things start to happen. And then when I got the finances, you can move. Yeah, I don't know what fascinating. I don't know what that is. The UK, we don't get that sort of stuff. Whatever it is, if it's waiting on something, then you've got to wait until you get it. Right. Because it's like, it's up to you. You can either do something to help yourself. If it's, I can't do it myself, I need money from something or someone, then it's just a case of waiting until you get that something or someone. If people want to know those things, you're going to have to pay for a donation, like a super chat. Says it on the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen, when you click on the thumbnail. Let me ask you a question. How many of you out there believe that spirit is here to tell you what to do? Thank you so much, McKenham Solemn. Thank you. Really appreciate it. No, the third party's already been revealed to you. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, Spirit isn't here to tell you what to do. How is England doing? Best wishes. England is brilliant at the moment. Well, where I am, I love where I'm from because we're a very nice, quiet little town, and nothing bad ever really happens here because it's not an interesting place to be, and that's why I like it because no one ever really wants to come here. So if I want to go anywhere interesting, I can just jump in a car or on a train and go there. But when it comes to drama and loads of shit going on and being inferior of what's going on outside, because it's like there isn't that much here, no one ever really wants to come here. So people come here for a nice quiet, it's a bit like a retirement type sort of town village, and it's very close to a lot of other places. So that's the way I like it, where there's not a lot of drama, there's no fucking crap going on, and if I wanted to go and visit somewhere, I can. It's nice and easy. Yeah, Spirit can't exactly prove anything to you. It can't prove a third party because it can tell you your own thoughts, right? A Three of Swords, right? A Three of Swords is an air sign card, right? So when you get tarot, you get tangible money kind of things. You get like minor arcana cards that represent thoughts, feelings, right? Thoughts are swords, feelings and emotions are cups, right? So a sword means a thought. So the Three of Swords is an actual thought. It doesn't mean that it's happening, right? It's a thought. So if you're watching tarot thinking that there's a third party, I'm picking up in a reading, whether it be actual, like a personal reading, or whether it's a general reading, a sword means thought. So it means that someone is thinking there's a third party. Now, if someone contacts me and says, I think there's a third party, can you prove it? No, I can't give you a yes or no. I can tell you someone thinks that there's a third party, right? So it means, okay, you think there's a third party. What has given you that? Like, what makes you think there's a third party? Is it because you've watched loads of readings and every tarot reader has told you there's a third party? And you've been thinking it and you're placeboing yourself thinking there's a third party, right? Then if it's, well, I know that there's a third party, well, then the advice changes. Why the fuck are you with the person when there's a third party? Why are you with them? Then you get people that are like, I'm connected in a third party where I am the metaphysical person and them two are together and I'm supposed to be with him. Why? What? Why? Why are you supposed to be with that person? Because they're not with you, they've chose the other one. I can't get over him. There you go, you've got abandonment issues. You can't be alone without that person. You think that that's your person, right? Your person, your actual one, won't want to break your heart or your feelings or put you in any trauma bond because you're not traumatic. You haven't got any trauma left to deal with. You've dealt with all your trauma, right? Your childhood trauma, your actual trauma, your school year trauma, your fear of being left and abandoned, needing to fit in, needing to look a certain way, needing to be a certain way, need to change my look, my appearance. And no, your actual person won't really care about that because they like you for who you are, because you like them for who they are too. They won't come to you with a trauma bond. Anybody that has a complete and utter trauma bond, stay away from me. right? Because I don't want no trauma bonds, right? I'm done with trauma bonds. Fuck that, right? I'm not looking for a trauma bond connection, right? I'm looking for a person that stays, not fucks off, right? I finally caught you in a live. Hello, who are you? Sending heaps and best wishes from Australia. Another person in Australia. How you doing? Thank you for joining, Christy O'Carroll. Do we have any UK people up in the house? So it is very important to understand that a Three of Swords is a thought. It isn't an actual action. If it is an action, it means that the action has already been taken, and I'm upset because they left me for another person. That's an action, so you already know the answer. If there isn't an answer, then this is just a thought, and then the readings are just giving you more thoughts, more thoughts, more thoughts, more thoughts, and you're placeboing your thought. Right? People have taught you how to read tarot cards the wrong way. Right? My first live with you. Yes, I do believe that the spirit tells you what to do in guidance. No, a spirit doesn't. The reader does. So if this was a card, which it is, if this was a money card, like a financial card that all my money has, like, you know, a bank card, my money isn't on this card. It's in the reader, right? You put a Barclays card or an American Express or a money card and you stick it in something that can read this card to give you something back. The advice isn't from the card, it's from the reader. If you don't get a very experienced reader that teaches you the wrong way, then you're going to placebo yourself thinking that a spirit's there to tell you what to do. It isn't. These are just tools to help the reader guide you through it. Right? This is why I do all the teaching stuff. Right? Any third party can be worked, family and commitments, etc. I mean, you can work through a third party if you're okay with being in one. Fuck that, I ain't. No way. Hello, Rebecca. How you doing? Yeah, there's no way I'd ever be in a third party for long. You know, as soon as finding it out, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. Move on with my life, right? But you shouldn't attract those kind of energies unless you're willing to work on them. Yeah. Right? Majority of people that go back into a third party, they believe that they're working on something, and that is the definition of madness, right? So you get a circle of abandonment, right? You can't learn anything other than abandonment from the person that abandoned you originally. So you get a drama triangle. 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, when people believe they're working on something, they'll go through a cycle of something and they'll go around and they'll come at this point where it's happened again, right? So when they go round it again, they'll think, okay, let's go this way and let's try counselling, right? And then they get full circle and then it comes round to their numerology of time where it's out of sync because your astrology only proves compatibility when you're with the person. That's how you prove alignment. You have to meet the person to know alignment. When you're not in alignment, it's pretty much like the world. It got shifted. That's why there are multiple realities. It got shifted, right? That's why we pick up like fucking glitching things that go on the TV, because it got shifted, right? So you have to learn about energy shifts, right? Ultimate realities. Okay. So we believe that we are literally on one timeline, but we're not. Okay. So because of all of this shifting, when we shift our energy, we just try something the same way, but slightly different, but we just get the same result. We just come full circle, right? So then when you physically shift and you move from this timeline, you enter another timeline, but you don't enter the timeline with this person. You enter the timeline without them. So your reality shift starts to create a different reality, right? If you look at multiple realities, multiple different realities, right? They're all different compared to what you do each time. Each time you do something different, a different reality starts to make a reality. You make your own reality, right? If you're caught in this reality that isn't actual reality with someone that keeps you in these loops, you just shift reality, but with the person, and you do it in a different reality, but you get the same result. You're just trying something different, slightly different. Like, we're working on our marriage, we're working on our commitment, we're working on abandonment. But really, in that reality, you just get the same one. You've just transitioned, but with the person. Your reality can only change on a timeline when there's no one in your reality of old things. To shift the reality to make it new, you have to be on your own in a new reality. Okay, because then you start to make your reality your own. Okay, you're playing the game of Matrix, right? And so, yeah, to break out the loop, you need to realize that the reality that I'm in when I wake up is an awakening, and I'm waking up to the reality, the fact that I'm caught in a loop that's giving me the same result. If I shift my reality onto a new one, but I bring the person with me, then we're just going to go through the same reality, but just slightly different, right? So to make a new reality, we need to be literally on our own in order to make a new world. We make a new life for ourselves, and then you get the sun. Right? The sun is what shines onto a mirror to create a reality. Right? It's a reflection. Does anybody get that? You kind of understand it a little? You know when people used to say to you, like, okay, manifest the reality that you want by thinking of the reality that actually isn't there. You just have to envision the reality. Okay, you're working towards a reality that isn't real and it isn't there. It's just shifting realities. Okay. Yes, I understand it. Helped me with the 7-year confusion. Yeah. I mean, I've had 35 awakenings. I lost count eventually. But through my awakening period, I would get periods of time where I would get a headache and I would get spiritually awakened. And just because it's mind expansion, you see, like your mind, right, is a circle. Your mind, it replays out patterns. It's all neurons that just connect with one another, right? And it just makes your brain loop. You know, you think you need to get up to go to work, so you do, okay, and you chase money to pay off the things that you want, okay, so you loop. You get up, you do the same thing, you get up, you do the same thing, you get up. So your mind is a loop, right? So it's an expansion. When you have an awakening, your mind expands, right, like the world does. It expands. It's an image of something that expands. Has to, because the amount of people on Earth, right? So it expands. And then it expands a little bit more. And then it expands a little bit more, right? So what do we have? Ultimate realities. We have ultimate realities, right? If in this reality here, you decide not to go to work, and you're like, fuck my boss, I don't give a shit, I'm not going to work, right? And then you turn up to work the next day, and you say, no, I just didn't feel like coming in. And he says, right, you are fired. You're sacked. Get out, right? This reality here is where you now have no job. And now you have to create a new reality with a new job. But if at the beginning you didn't and you actually went to work, your reality would be exactly the same here as it was here. because you never did actually say, I'm not coming to work and I can't be bothered and fuck you. So you didn't get the sack. You're just now replaying out exactly the same as you did in this reality here, right? But in your reality here, if you left, this reality means I'm on my own now. So now I have to start living according to my needs of me being on my own. I can now create my own reality without all of this. So your reality is you meet someone new here, someone new, right? You meet someone new. And then when you meet someone new, you meet their family, okay, and their friends. And one of their family or friends says, what do you do for a living? And you say, nothing at the moment. I'm just in between jobs trying to find one. What are you good at? I'm very good at typing and computers. Oh, brilliant. I work with PCs. And you're like, oh, brilliant. Yeah, well, I'm looking for a secretary. Oh, are you? I can do that. Brilliant. So now you have a job that's new in this reality with this energy. So your reality shifts to something new. Okay. You shift realities in new. But if with this energy, you take things with you to this energy, okay, your reality starts to play out that same kind of reality. Because if fear is a projection of something that you fear and you run from your mind is going to start to create a different reality from fear. And this is why you need to be healed from your past reality, right? Well, you still end up on your own, but that's what I'm saying. If you're on your own and you're good with being on your own and you've learned that own is my self-love, okay, then you can meet someone because you're on your own, self-love, and you're not attracting a trauma bond. Now, if you're here on your own and you're like, fuck, I'm really lonely and I'm really on my own and I haven't met someone and I'm not a part of this anymore and I don't have that to concentrate anymore and I can't replay out all of these loops and I miss that loop, I miss this energy, I miss that, I miss the town, the country, the village. You have fear and abandonment, right? So you've carried the fear and rejection of abandonment and you brought that with you into this reality that you start to create here. So you create an abandonment loop. And these loops are just loads of different realities of what you go through until you learn about abandonment, right? When you don't feel abandoned and you feel on your own and you feel really good and you feel accomplished, then you can start to create a better reality for yourself. Okay, when I'm teaching you about abandonment loops, I don't just mean like with a person of love. I mean like with family, with friends, okay, with job, with money. Because it's all one energy. It's all one fearing not having stuff. Okay. You fear the process of life of not actually having anyone or anything. You can book an NHS flu jab or a COVID jab. I don't want that shit running through my system, thank you. This is what Britain gives you. It gives you a message from the NHS saying you can have a free flu vaccination as well as a COVID jab. No, thank you. All right, groovy child. So yeah, does everybody kind of get that? Do you kind of get that concept, right? The ultimate reality loops. What kind of reality do you want to live in? You have decisions to make every single day. Your reality changes. It's basically called the snowflake condition, I think. You know, where a tree just multiplies itself and branches off into different avenues. And the mind branches off into different avenues. It's the same thing, like the only gravitational pull we have is this, which is the Milky Way. It expands and it expands and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And trees get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they branch off into loads of different things. Right? The tree of life, my parents, my grandparents, my children, my this, my that. Right? Everything, like the person just said there, represents self, love. Right? In order to break a pattern and a cord, the cord that bonds you to this is to break the trauma bond. So you leave on your own accord. You don't need guidance or messages to tell you to do it because you already know that you want to do it. So I'm not doing it because Spirit told me, which proves the energy of a card reading and advice. It's not a card, it's the reader, right? And it proves that I don't need proof because I already know I'm not happy and that I want to move for myself, not for anyone else. Not because I'm trying to escape my reality of what can be brought with me of my mind, because you can take your mind with you. And if your mind is exactly the same here as it was here, your reality will start to just form this reality. And then you'll be in a multiple universe. Right? You'll just create a reality from the reality that you try to move from. You can't run from a thought. Right? Your thoughts are something that will manifest itself into a trauma bond. Right? Do we see our parents again? Well, no, not really. No, because your parent isn't really your parent, right? It's not really the energy that created you. It's just like if a soul actually isn't a human, like when you die, right? Look at this, right? Look at this. This one might tell you a little bit of something. When I've actually explained this to some people, they're kind of like, oh, I didn't actually think of it that way. Right? When you're alive, you have eyes, and you have a nose, and you have a mouth, right here, and you have a neck, and you have a body, and you have boobies. Okay? You have hair, you have arms. Okay? So when you die, you actually don't take any of this with you. This stays here. Right? So if you're in heaven or hell or wherever you are afterwards, how are you supposed to see what's going on? Because you haven't got any eyes. Your memory doesn't come with you anyway, so you can't think that anything is there or see anything's there. You can't relate it to the past or a person or a thing because you haven't got a brain. It stays here. So your brain can't think, oh, I know what that is. That's my ex-uncle, Auntie Daphne, or whoever it is, because I haven't got a brain. So I'm not functioning as a human. My human self doesn't come with me. So I've got absolutely no idea of where that is, because that is dark. Right? I've just switched off. Right? So how am I going to know that I am anywhere? Whether I'm in hell or purgatory or heaven, how am I going to know that? You're not. You're not. You're just being governed by shit on the internet. They're normally possible Christians that say, you need to follow God because if you don't and you die, you're going to be burnt to death on a fucking stake. And we need to put fear into your mind to make you follow and believe us so we can have loads of money and charity and everything else. And then you can preach all of this stuff to actually make people fear dying. which is inevitable anyway of what you're going to do. All right? It's only present timeline stuff of money. Right? Religion is all money. That's what religion is. It's money. People want more money. That's why they go to war. Because they want more power. They want a bigger everything than anyone else. Right? So when you die, nothing that you physically know of now is going to exist. So it ain't going to matter. What does it matter? It is just matter. That's all it is. It's not a matter of a fact, because a fact is I can see something and that's a fact because I've seen it. Yeah, change reality again. Your reality shifted. You've gone on to a new timeline. Right? Who's not to say that when you're in a different reality and you've created a new reality, what's to say that the messages that you're not picking up are from your past reality? Right? You're still connected to yourself. Oh, my TV's about to turn off. So when you start to look at the concept or understand it, you kind of think, okay, well, what is coming with me? Nothing. Nothing is coming with you. Money isn't coming with you. Parents, family, children, my memories, they're just left behind. That's called a legacy. Okay, I'm leaving behind a legacy and an imprint of what I did when I was there. That's it. Even a memory fades of people that died because physically everybody within their life cycle, some reality people actually, they all die. Their family tree dies. Like there's no one left to remember that person. They've all died. No one remembers them apart from their legacy. And then what do you get? The Bible. This is the Bible, and we're all supposed to live by what was there so many centuries ago that not one living person on earth for many, many years was actually there to witness any of it, to say what the truth actually was about any of it. And now what do you see? Everybody on the streets arguing about religion. Immigrants, everything. Preaching the gospel, preaching this, preaching that, preaching this, preaching that. And they're all fighting over something that they're not even there. That none of them were actually there. It was just in a book. They're fighting and killing people over a goddamn book. When, like, I look at it and think, okay, if you lot believe in this thing, whatever it is, do you realise what you're actually doing when you're sitting there preaching and arguing with people and discussing them about your belief, my belief, that Bible, the Quran, this, that, and how much time you're actually wasting on trying to prove something that you can't even prove because you weren't there? So why are you wasting your time arguing and fighting over it all? What are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? Exactly. They're all caught in the controlled loop. They're trying to control the reality to be what was in the past. So many people, I can't, like, when I've got a friend group, right, I've got one friend, my best friend. We don't never talk about anything in the past. If I've got friends, right, and they want to talk about past, it drives me fucking nuts. Why do you want to talk about the past? It doesn't interest me in one slight little bit. Is talking to people about. I mean, I do it as a living because that's my living, right? I'm supposed to help people concentrate on the now. So when I'm with my friend, we talk about non-reality things to make them humatic. We're human. We have loads of conversations about things that could be real. We invent a story and we go with it and we laugh about it and blah blah blah. We don't talk about the past. We don't talk about the future of where we would like to be or what we would see or what's happening. We talk about like comedy sketches and stuff that we'd love to create or do. We don't never live out the past or the future. Okay, now I've said this to you before of what, okay, who should I look for compatibility of a partner? Look at your best friend. Who in life, right, do you connect with the best? Say, like for me, right, I like women, right, but my best friend is a guy, and he's a Cancerian, and he's a life path 7. I'm a life path 7, Pisces, so 7 puts me at a Cancerian energy. So it shows me the people that I vibe really well with are Cancerian, life path 7. Right, so it kind of shows me that within a perfect match of an actual partner would roughly have the same kind of placements as my best friend. Right? So you can navigate yourself through, okay, who am I supposed to look for? Right. Thank you. My birthday is the 7th of March. Okay, one day before yours. Oh, wow. My cousin, I've got a cousin, and when I found out no, it wasn't. Sorry, my cousin was the same day as mine, but my ex, one of my exes, she was a Pisces, and she was actually on the 7th. Her name was Sam. Yeah, she was one day before mine. I was on the 8th, she was on the 7th. I had an extremely close friend who lost last year. Literally just belly laugh most of her time. I miss her so much, yeah. So, like I said, if you know what her chart is, right? If you know what her chart is, look for a guy, if that's what you are, if you're female, then look for a guy with that same chart placement-ish. I've just done a Pisces. I've got to do Cancer next as a remote viewing. I've done Pisces. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for someone to enter into my life at this time because I'm in my year 2. Waiting for that perfect kind of match to show themselves. But what we don't want is trauma bonds, people. Okay? You want people that are healed and not really dealing with exes, and there's not really any obstacles in the way, and there's nothing that's stopping the connection, and there's no fear. Okay, the person that you're supposed to connect with will get you. They'll physically get you. I'm not connecting with deceased loved ones at the minute. I ain't got the energy to do it. Like I said, I can give you the tools of what spirit shows me. This is why I don't watch any readers. I don't read any books. I don't watch any quantum physics, fucking psychics or anything like that. I don't watch anyone because I want whatever is meant for me on my timeline to be told to me from whatever I get. Right? A lot of my gift, I don't know what it's called, but it's just knowledge. Right? It's like a knowledge of whatever it is. Right? And I thrive off that. I don't want it mixed up with someone else's belief. Yeah, I will do a Libra reading at some point, but I do have to do Cancer reading. I've done the Pisces one, that comes out in a bit. But I do have to have a Cancer reading because I did say that if any of the readings reach 6,000, 5,000 or 6,000 6,000 views, I will do a another reading, and I haven't done a Cancer reading in a while. Chart is all water, Pisces, Sun, Cancer, Rising, Moon, Scorpio. Had being me very, it's hard being me. Are you single? Are you available? Are you attractive? Do you... Water sign energy is actually really good for me, like Cancer, Aquarius energy, Cancer, Aquarius energy, life path 7. What else is it? Sagittarius, possible, Taurus, Pisces. I seem to attract a lot of Gemini energy, me. What time is it there? It is nearly 1:15. Oh, we're nearly hitting 13:13. At the minute, we're at 1, 3, 12. There we go. We're now at 13, 13. 8. We're looking at 4 and 4. Scorpio, Aries, Aquarius, Leo. Oh, wow. 13, 13. There you go. 13, 13. So you're looking at 4 and 4. And then you're looking at 8 as an overall energy, which is union. Never got married. No, I never got married. Single, divorced, 4 years now, but far away in the United States of America. Yeah, that's typically everybody. I have actually normally met people actually in this country, but no one's ever interested when they're from this country. Like, they're either completely traumatic, dealing with like shitloads of trauma, or just like, I don't know. Strange. Belgium, that's not far. Belgian beauty. North Wales. Ah, there you go, I'm far. Ex used me for drugs and money. Yeah. Don't never give out money or lend money. Like, I've just lent my best friend a Cancerian money, but he always pays me it back. He's got my back thick or thin. And he's always paid me back. He's never not paid it. But hell no, if I'd got a partner that was on drugs or like a complete alcoholic, I'd be like, oh, no, thank you. From the Philippines. How you doing up in the Philippines? Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering about like my next partner, because where am I the most? Online. I'm online the most. And I kind of got a feeling it might be someone that kind of comes across the channel at some point. Gone to shit, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I think like, I don't know, like obstacles are obstacles, but if people are free to do what they want, like say if I met someone, right, and they were in a different country, if they weren't free, I mean like children, young children, and I can't leave because I have to bring all my children and I've got a mortgage and a house and I'm married or like waiting for divorce. They're all like huge obstacles. They're not just like, well, it only takes one thing and then I'm free and I'm packing, I'm available because I don't have all of this stuff that has to wrap up first. And, you know, I've got a 3-year old and a 5-year old and whatnot. And, you know, all that sort of stuff. They're all like major obstacles of like time and more time and more time and more time. And like I can't leave because my ex is in this country, and like I can't just take them because he needs access and all of this and blah blah blah. It's kind of, right? Yeah, free is also a mindset. You know, like I'm not really dealing with anyone. I haven't really got any traumatic fucking issues. There's nothing that's stopping the person, and they're not having to deal with like traumatic wounds and fucking past karmic connections and afraid of connections and afraid of getting to know someone because they're going to be a flight risk. You'll meet someone that's just a flight risk, right? You want someone that's mentally stable. Yeah, Peter Parker. Yeah, I mean, I don't want someone to look after me because I'm quite capable of doing that myself. But I want someone that is capable of looking after themselves. They don't need me to look after them, and I don't need them to look after me. It's just equality. It's like I do it because it's there. You know? It's not, I need you to save me because you're a safety net. I need you to save me from my past so I don't have to deal with it. But you guys, like, this does keep coming up. Like, the Nightbot there gives you the app for all of my details for contacting me or personal readings or whatever y'all guys need. You don't actually need to scan it because that is the link. And the link takes you to Google or Chrome. I would advise Chrome. And then it'll open up my app, which is a good app because it's like the Matrix app. And I've put a load of background Matrix kind of like numbers all floating down. And then as you go through it, it's got everything that you need. And then you just save it as a favorite on your Chromebook or whatever. I'm a socially awkward air sign. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm socially awkward, but I am in a way because when I go out, there's this one person, right, and it's not just because he likes men, because he likes men and women, but he is so annoying, and I meet a lot of people that are annoying, and my best friend laughs at me because I don't have time for people, and some people are like, "That's so rude." I'm like, "But I don't have time for them because they're a fucking idiot." Like I don't, I don't have to fit in with anyone. And I don't want anyone to make themselves fit in with me anyway, because I'm like, well, who am I? Why are you bothered because I think you're a dickhead? What are you bothered for? Right? Why do I bother you that much? Because I'm the one out of everybody that thinks you're a dickhead. Why does that bother you? Well, because everyone likes me, really. What, one person doesn't? So what does that give you? Abandonment issues, right? I have to be liked by everybody. No. You talk too much when you're triggered. Yeah. I don't have anything that triggers me. I mean, it doesn't trigger me if someone's fucking yelling in my ear. Oh, it pisses me off because I'm like, don't talk to me like that. But I don't ever like. Oh God, you remind me of. Best friend from England. Yeah, England's got its problems because it is a very expensive country, but I love England. Calm you down. I do have this very strange way of actually calming people down. I don't know why, but I've actually been complained at because I'm too calm. Can you work that one out? God, you're too calm. Drives me nuts. What do you mean I'm too calm? Can't you just get a bit... No. No, because you don't trigger me. You just piss me off. So what are you doing? Does anybody want to know anything else? Anybody want to talk about anything? I've had 2 people that have reached out for readings, but they haven't got back to me. They sent messages this morning. But one is from Britain, one is in England, the other one's in America. Oh, I always laugh, me. I always break the tension with laughter. It doesn't matter what it is. The one thing I've never failed to do is make my partner piss herself. How much is a personal reading? So I offer 2 readings. I offer a recorded reading, but there is a set of questions that I will only answer. So you have to look at what I've set out for you, because I don't answer questions about money or will I find a partner ever. I can't answer those questions. Okay, am I supposed to move? I can't answer those questions either. So what I do is, if you're dealing with someone, I do a thoughts, feelings, intentions, and outcome. And then I do a spread to show you the outcome within the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions. And I'll say, okay, this is what you're going through with this person, and this is your monthly or whatever spread to show you the loop. And then I advise you to how to tackle it or get out of it or what you should do. Okay. If you're not really dealing with anyone, then it's just kind of a, if you're not really dealing with fucking anyone at all, then a monthly reading. Or I do a one-on-one. Well, that one is £60 and the one-on-one is £100. Now, the one-on-one is a live video that we do together. We kind of get acquainted and get to know each other a little bit, so you kind of relax. And then I ask you about stuff that's kind of gone on in your life and why do you need help and support and what is it? And then I kind of pinpoint all of the problems that you've got going on and then I guide you through it. It's not where I just sit there and go, let me be a fortune teller and tell you all these things you want to know. Right? It's like all of these things that I ever explain here, we go over that in depth, but personally for you. So we go over your numerology, we look at why, we look at your trauma bond, we look at why the trauma bond's there, what you're afraid of, what do you want to accomplish, why you're not doing it, what do you want to do, and then we ask loads of questions with the tarot where you can intervene with me and say, yeah, that's this and that's that, and can you ask this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So you can have as many questions as you like regarding tarot card readings. And they've all been very enlightening. Like, a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, fuck, I really didn't realise it. I'm lost. I can't make a decision. I don't know what to do. Why is he or not? Like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And then you get like loads of info. What's that in dollars? Alexa, how much is £100 in dollars?
Good afternoon, Stephen. £100 is $131 and 82 cents. By the way, you have
Alexa,
a new
stop.
notification.
$131. So it's £100, and that just difference is $31. But it does it for you. Like when you buy it, it just converts it all for you, and you just put in £100 on the thing, and then it just converts it into the actual dollar, and then it takes the dollar out of your account. Now, it's not just a 5-minute reading. It's, we go over until you're pretty much satisfied with all of the answers that you've got, like, within fucking reason. Right? But it does take a lot of understanding and listening to, right? Because if you're like, no, I know better than you. I'm a tarot reader. I know the answers. Don't contact me. Right? Because if you're not prepared to listen to the truth of whatever I'm picking up or what you should really not be doing, then, I've had a lot of people that are starting to have a go at me because I can't answer the question. I want to move. Where am I supposed to move to? I can't tell you that. Well, why am I contacting you for? Exactly. Why are you contacting me? I don't know. Move to fucking Spain. I'm looking for a job. What should I do? I don't know. I can't tell you that. What job you should do. So I had to put a stop to it. So I kind of went over the questions that will give you more specific, true answers. And then it's tailored towards that. If people want those fortune-telling readers, then, you're better off going to another reader that will do that for you. Me, I'll refuse to take money off you because I won't want to brainwash you and just say, I can answer all of that. Right? And then take the money off you and just rip you off by telling you a load of shit. Because it's money. What's that? Yeah, I mean, like I said, it does say tarot reading. One of them says tarot reading and the other one says dark side reading or something one-on-one. But yeah, I mean, it's a general read if you want a general reading, yeah. But then I can, I kind of need sort of a little bit of info. Like all of you know, right? It's not a spirit that tells you what to do. It's the reader that guides you through what you're doing, right? So an experienced reader is really not going to should be advising you to stay in third parties and go through abandonment loops and fuck knows what else and all this sort of stuff, right? Many tarot readers might just take your money and tell you what you want to know. And there you go, there's your reading, that's what you wanted to know, and there you are. Me, I won't do that. I won't do that. Good morning, Kay Monberg. How are you? Where do you come from? Like the better reading that you get is when I'm informed of a lot of this negative stuff that's going on in your life, and I don't mean like pages and goddamn life stories, right? Because I ain't got time to read it all, and I'm like, oh my god, what a fucking mess, right? It's just generalizing I'm stuck, I'm in this situation, it's because of this, right? And I know that, right? And then I can think, okay, right, here's the set of cards. Now I can see your pattern of behavior. I know what you're going through. And now I can advise you of what I see and what I think is going on. So again, peeps, there as it is, look, the Nightbot. Just click on the link for the app. And that app will allow you to have all of the information that you need or that you're looking for. Has access to everything. New Hampshire. Oh, wow. All right, did we do a live one-on-one or did I just do a recording reading from New Hampshire? How long ago was it? Okay, thank you, Sophie. Oh, wow, now we've got 13:31. What do you know? 13:31. I just looked at the time. So before it was 13:13 and now I'm picking up on 13:31. That's a mirrored energy. live. Oh, really? How long ago was that? Six months, maybe? Can't really remember. Newbie. Hello, newbie. How you doing? Where'd you come from? Registered a couple of days ago. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. You channeled the white dress, did I? Really can't remember. What, you was wearing a white dress? Even the coffee makes it disappointing. Why are you with the person? Vicky. I picked up the name V for a while. It actually come up in the Pisces reading. So we've got a Pisces reading coming up, that was the remote viewing. I've got a Cancerian reading to do as well for a remote viewing. They also got their tarot card reading as well. Cool. Are you the person that left? Somebody left a message on I don't know, because I get a bot that comes up, and I don't know if they leave a message on the website or if they leave a message somewhere else. I'm not sure, because it all connects into one. But that app that just come up there, look, that app that's just come up on the screen is where you can connect to me anywhere, really, and find out about readings or whatever it is. I'd done the Aries reading a little while ago. Everybody's asking me for loads of different signs. I get it all the time, every day. But I had two people reach out to me this morning, or was last night. One was from Britain, and then the other one was America. No, it was either America or Canada. Wanting to know about readings, and I did reply. Aquarius, Cancer rising. That's a good fit. Where'd you come from? Hello, how you doing? Yeah, good fits for me are like Aquarius, Cancer, Life Path 7 energies. Possible Gemini, maybe. Steve, is it a tip now or price of reading? Okay, so if you want a very quick couple of free cards or something, it's just a super chat, but it's not a very in-depth reading. It's just a quick answer to something. But if you want an in-depth reading, then you need the link that keeps coming up in the chat, where it gives you access to all the information that you need to contact me about something that you're confused about, or if it's an actual reading and just want to order it straight off, then the shop is there. Tells you about what you get in the description of every reading, because there's a personal one-on-one video where we get to talk face-to-face for quite a while and go over stuff and strategies and whens and hows and do's and don'ts, and the karmic pattern that people are in or whatnot, and their numerology. And then as many questions as you like regarding the cards, or there is a slightly cheaper option of a recorded reading, but it's still you still have to look at what I'm prepared to answer, because there's a description of like questions that you have to, if you're dealing with someone, I need their name and your name, and then a generalized reading and spread to show the progression of the person that you're with. But the one-on-ones are better because you get feedback, you see. You get to talk to me and guide me through what I might not be seeing or what you want an answer to. And then you can ask another one and another one and another one, and then you get feedback during that. When it's recorded, you can only ask what you ask, and that's it. It's done, and that's it. So I think the links work on that app. Not really sure, but I think they do, because I don't know anybody that actually uses it. Hello, how you doing? Chasm77. How you doing? So if anybody does want like one or two sort of like just a very brief kind of stuff, you can leave a super chat and then I can answer. But if it's very in depth, then you'll need a personal one there. I've got to log in my times because I'm keeping a log of my numerology numbers. So what did I get? 13, 13. Someone's left a donation to what? To the PayPal. Who left a donation to the PayPal? Thank you. Hope you have a good day. We're not doing freebies, we're doing super chat, and it's just like a quick card or two. Just sent you a little tip. Thank you very much. Kerry. Things might change, my friend. Whoa. Carry. 4, Scorpio. I'm poor. Oh dear. Steve, is money in my future after jail? Really? What is your name? These are questions I don't normally answer about money because cards really don't give too much answers about money, to be fair. Cassie. What's coming up for Cassie? Four of Wands, prison. 7 of Cups, options whilst out of prison. 7 of Swords, chance of going back. Probably on tag, because I'm looking at the back ankle here. Trying to not go back, but this is like being tracked. Trying to escape a King of Wands. There's a sexual energy here. 5 of Swords. Oh dear. I'm not seeing money. I'm trying to escape this King of Wands. 5 of Swords can be an influence of I'm trying not to go back to old behaviour here. My family stole it. I don't really care. I just don't want jail. Well, I don't know if you're going to jail or escaping it, but this does say this is the 4 of Wands of prison, right? This is also family and disagreements with family and father or whatever, but this is like trying to urge me into this 4 of Wands. So it is to do with like families and house, devious family members, because 4 of Wands is family. Thank you for joining the membership. Really appreciate it, Kerry. This is also trying to avoid jail as well. There's also people that are not good for you around you that are kind of influencing you. These are bad influences of people that are actually around you. Let's see. Cassie. Yeah, Tower moment. Trying to distance myself. 3 of Cups. Something to also to do with the King or the Queen. Now that can be partnership or that can be family. This is also good news as well, though, but it also goes towards a feminine energy of the Queen. What is this 7 of Swords to do with? Someone's family. I don't know if you've got a loving, some kind of relationship thing going on there as well, but It's like family. 6 of Cups. What is the 5 of Swords here for? And the 5 of Swords. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, a lot of conflict coming up. A lot of conflict, a lot of fighting. A lot of mind games. Trying to distance myself from people. Where's the Tower? Yeah, trying to cut off people. Trying to cut people off from coming forward. Trying to block them out. So then you get the 3 of Cups. I can't see any money. Apart from the Queen of Pentacles there. There's normally a female energy. You've got 2 Queens. At distance, the Fool. A new beginning, the Queen of Wands. No, I can't see any financial abundant energy coming in. Obsessed Aquarius. Yeah, well, this could be Leo. And if it is Leo, it's an Aquarian energy as well. So can the Queen be an Aquarian energy? There's also like Leo. Yeah, it's an ongoing loop. You just get 5 after 5 after 5 after 5. So it's looping energy. It's repeating itself again and again. You have to distance yourself from all of these people. To start over again is completely move away from anybody that interferes with your life. Maybe you could avoid it. I mean, you can avoid it, yeah. You've got to avoid all family members. You haven't got to continue to fight with them or disagree with them. This is the elephant in the room. I can't tell them to piss off. I've got to go myself, right? Leos. Yeah, it could be quite a few fire energies. But I used to be with a Leo and she used to have a fucking huge temper. Cool, shit. Yeah, a lot of 5s coming up. What it is, it's saying move away. If you can, is move away, right? Completely get away from them. You can't tell an elephant to piss off because it'll just stay there. You can't tell people that you don't agree or you disagree because it'll just come back around again. So it's like saying if you want a brand new start and you want a brand new life, you're going to physically have to do the Fool, is move away from everybody. Okay, then let them sort it out themselves. Right. But when it comes to being able to find money to be able to do it, I can't see it. Because this is 5 of I want to go, but I can't afford it and I haven't got the money to go, but I want to. Right. And then it would relate to like needing family support or whatnot, or child support in order to go. Right. So until you can and or decide to go, the same is going to happen over and over again, unfortunately. They're all really impossible questions there, Carrie. Like, cards are really not financial cards. There's really not that many cards that mean abundant and success. Even a 10 of Pentacles is a 1. This is why, like my personal readings, I don't have any kind of questions that people can answer about money. Other readers might be better at reading about money, but I'm not a money reading person. My 3 boys driving me nuts. Will they grow up? Yeah, eventually. It's inevitable. Will they stop being childish? Probably not. Adults are more childish than kids. Financially draining me? Well, if they're old enough, kick them out. If kids are draining you and they're old enough to look after themselves, then if you're supporting them, there's no one else's fault but your own. So if you don't want them financially draining you, stop giving them money. If they're not old enough to look after themselves, and that's what comes along with being a parent. You do it until they're old enough to move out, and then if they're not moving out, then you tell them they're moving out. Right? That's the written law of being strict and being able to take on, leadership roles, is doing the things that I don't want to have to do, but I have to teach the harsh lesson. You're draining the life out of me. You're old enough to support yourself, so stop being here. Yeah. So you have to physically stop with all of the finances. You have to cut everything off, literally cut everything off, and that makes them, if that makes them really aggressive, then you know that they don't have no respect. So then you kick them out. If they realise, shit, I've got no mobile phone, I've got, mum's not paying for anything anymore, the only option I've got is to go out and get it myself. And if I see that as unfair, well, tough. It's tough love. Conditions. And health-wise, I can't do health readings. People can be unhealthy because of the circumstances that they're living in. Well, then you have to change the way that you're living in order to create a healthier environment. Because if your environment is unhealthy, then it creates a lot of burdens, a lot of stress, a lot of worry, a lot of arguments. So that means that the universe is screaming for you to change your environment. So you have to make your environment work for you. I need your name. Did you leave it? If you left a donation on PayPal, if you did, then I need your name. I mean, your love should be all right because you're married, right? You've got a partner. Nancy Drew. Yeah, this is putting a stop to finances. No. You're stuck because people are asking you for finances. Your answer should be no, not yes. But they might still keep asking. You're married, more than likely, but you're going around in circles, feeling drained and tired, going through a narcissistic energy. What's that? We've got 2 names now, Nancy. That's how it would. Not married because of finance, medical. My name is Kayan. I can't really see. Is that K-A? Alexa, how do you pronounce K-A-R-Y-N?
I pronounce that Karen, but I'm always working on how I say things and I might not have it right.
No. I see a lot of just the same thing. Blocks and, emotionally avoidant. Like, this is like Nine of Cups is I'm not emotionally fulfilled. I'm not got what I want. I want more. I need more. I need more attention, or I need noticing, or I want and I want and I want. So you're in a needing energy. High Priestess. It's all to do with whatever it is that you want to know, you already know. The King of Pentacles can represent money and finances and stability. These are savings and money. So putting money into the bank and saving it and not giving it freely out to children. I don't believe in all of those archangel bollock people. It's not on my timeline anymore. Finances and money. Stop giving to children. Save one's money oneself. Keep it to yourself here. I mean, I can kind of see love-ish, but not majorly fulfilling. Not really fulfilling. Unfortunately, I can't really see an answer to your problem. Not really. Like, you need to start. Like, look at what problems have I got. Things are not going to get better until I start, right? So if one of your problems is financial difficulties, but that's because I keep giving it away, then stop giving it away. Save it, right? If it's I need more money than what I've got, that means I need to do more hours or get another job or a better job. It's one or the other. If the job that I've got gives enough money, then stop giving it away and live below your means, not above it. Okay. Because he's sick. Well, there you go. That comes down to sacrifice. It comes down to sacrifice. Because it pulls on your heartstrings, and I love him, but he's sick, so he can't contribute towards the relationship. So you've got a choice. You can stay with someone because you love them and you support them, so you stay there. But if that's what's draining you, then unfortunately that continues to happen until, I do personal readings. From that link there to the Nightbot. That gives you access to everything that I do or have, or contact numbers, or the shop, or gives you access to everything. So if you want to stay with the person that's sick, then you have to somehow make that work with staying with the person. So if it's more money, you've got to do more work. Okay. Hello, Moonshine. So that means you've got to do more work. Okay. Or get another job or a better one. Save everything. Live below your means, not above it. So get rid of all the things that you don't really need. And that will help your finances. Hello, Shawanda. How are you? I do, and I'm trying, just exhausted. I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's your That's your karmic energy. Like a non-karmic energy is if I like, what do I want the most? Because at the moment it's like you want everything and you're trying your best to keep everything going and like supporting everyone when you're not considering yourself in all of this. You're just considering everyone else. So you have to choose. Do I drop all of the weight and let go of it all and just consider myself in all of this because it's my life? That's the harsh reality of being selfish. Karma is a very selfish planet. You know, if you keep trying to control everyone else's life by trying to hold on to everyone, it's because you're actually not letting go of everyone and it's making it more difficult because you're trying to save everyone, stop everyone, you know, support everyone. So you can either choose yourself or you can choose other people. People that actually choose themselves are not actually bad, selfish people. They just cut all the shit out in their life and all the drama out of their life and they choose themselves, right? And they're only ever concerned about their life because that's the life they've got and that's the life they lead. I make the life that I want for me because I'm alive and it's my life, so why should I not, right? But you'll always get people that say, that's unfair, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be considering me more than yourself. Really? Dead weight. Dead weight. I don't do freebies. You have to donate. You can go next if there's a super chat thing there. Okay, so at the bottom where the chat bit is, it should say show your support for 7 Tarot. And there should be a little dollar sign. Super chat. Because we are soon going to be coming to an end. Yeah, you do. That's the whole point. Wow, thank you. That's a biggie. What would you like to know? I need names and stuff like that. Moving to another state, wondering if I'm making the right decision. Why people? Right, what you're going to get? Did you pay though, Moonshine? What you're going to get is a 5 of Pentacles and stuff like that when you move, because you'll have to start all over again. Right? Why are you fearing the process? Is it Shawanda? Yeah, I knew it. The Tower or the Five of Pentacles. This is basically just like starting over again, moving. And then you get the Tower, which is rebuilding and starting my life over again, trying to feel good about it. Okay, making new friends, making new people, making new acquaintances. No, these are not free questions. You have to leave a super chat. The Emperor, you could meet an Aries unless they're coming with you. But you'd have to start again. I know what I feel, but going back to the States where I lost my husband. Yeah, Shauna. Yeah. It's not going to show great energy. It's just showing starting over again. Right? It's showing starting over again. But if you're going back to the state where you lost your husband, is that going to trigger you off here? Bring back memories and stuff like that. Because these are just acquaintances or children or friends or family. And it's like starting over again. And then when you start over again, you're going to get like Five of Pentacles, pages, aces, and sort of wands of like new beginning, fresh starts. You know, this is like taking a break away from where I was and starting over again, and then meeting up with acquaintances and friends of people that I used to know. Somebody that I used to know. Right? So the Tower is to say movement and change. And then this is, but it can also be a trigger. It can be I'm triggered by the memories of what I was, and I'm going back to where I was. So I could get triggered by all of when I start looking around where that state is, it reminds me of my past and what I lost and what was there once and isn't there. And then you will have to deal with that trauma and then, start rebuilding again. So what's the outcome when she moves? So yeah, the outcome when you move is the Magician. You start again as a female. And yeah, I told you, then you get the Five of Pentacles. You have to start again. Okay. So this is like, moving from the Tower into a new place. And then it's empty and it's cold and I need to start, putting things up and packing all my stuff away and blah, blah, blah. And then you might start regretting the fact that you made a mistake because did I make the mistake of abandoning where I was to start again? And now I'm getting the Five of Pentacles of where I'm on my own, right? So I'm on my own, starting over again, having to put everything in place to make it a home. Friends, family, people, maybe children, things. And then I can build on the Five of Pentacles then and start over. So you just get starting over cards, really. You don't get like, is it a mistake? Should I or shouldn't I? You just get, I had someone that asked me this before on a live and I said, yep, you move. And you start off like this, and she did. And the moment she moved, she caught COVID, and she hated it. But then she learned to like it-ish, stayed there for a year or two, and then physically moved again after that. Right? Answering questions about moving and money is very difficult to physically answer, of whether someone should or shouldn't do that. Because it's only going to give you rebuilding energy. It's just going to give you new start, rebuilding, starting over again cards. When people move, they get the Five of Pentacles. Because I have to find a job, I have to find where I fit in, I have to find new friends, I have to start fitting into the environment. I've got to start filling up my house. I've got to look for rent and accommodation. I've got to find a new job and all that sort of stuff. I need to start saving my money, paying more rent if that's what it is, or less rent. Or so you'll always get those cards that are of lack because you have to build upon that. Right. Unless you're moving with £1 billion, and then, well, your life's completely different. So there we go, guys. I am going to be off ski and upload the Pisces reading. I might try and do a Cancerian remote viewing as well. If I don't get it done today, it'll probably be tomorrow. So they'll be coming out, Pisces and Cancer readings. And then I'll continue to obviously do the readings over on the join button. If you haven't joined and you want your weekly readings, and that's where it is on the join button below. And that gives you all of your weekly and your bonus readings to pick up signs and symbols of whatever it is that you pick up. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. And